Hello and good morning, students. I welcome you all for today's English class. Students, today we are going to see a new chapter in grammar, that is chapter number 13, Simple Present and Present Continuous Tenses. Okay, students, today's concept is simple present tense. What do you mean by simple present tense? The simple present tense talks about an action that takes place in the present moment. What do you mean by simple present tense? It talks about current situation. Not only current situation, it is used to describe habits like regular activities, unchanging situations, and general truths or facts. What do you mean by simple present tense? It talks about current situation. It talks about current situations, regular activities, unchanging situations, and general truths or fact. And one more thing, the simple present tense is formed by using the base form of the verb and adding s or es to the verb for third person singular. Okay, let's see an warm-up exercise. Look at the following picture and answer the questions in complete sentences. Students, look here. They gave two pictures and they gave two questions also. One is, what does the girl do? And another one is, what is the boy doing? The given two sentences tell us what is happening right now. So you should answer. Look at the picture carefully and answer. It means write the answer in the given blank. Okay, students, let me explain you how to form a simple present tense. Look here, a rule is given. Subject plus verb plus object. It's a rule. We should follow this. Then only we able to make a simple present tense. Look at the example given. I drink coffee. I is the subject. We know very well that subject is a noun or pronoun. I. Verb is drink. It means verb is an action word. Object is coffee. I drink coffee. It means that action is happening right now. For first person pronoun or second person pronoun, we just use that verb. But for third person singular, we should use either s or es. Okay, for third person singular noun we should use either s or es. For example, if you are using he or she instead of I, we should use either s or es. It means she drinks coffee, he drinks coffee. But in the given example we used the subject as I. If I means we should not add s or es to the verb. Okay, students, let us see some more examples. Look here, a tabular column is given. This table is divided into three columns. The first column is subject column and the second column is verb. It means action words. And the last column is object column. Look here, we used subject as I, you, we, they, he or she. Okay, now let's see how to form the simple present sentences. Normal sentence, okay? Normal statements. I eat cake. You eat cake. We eat cake. They eat cake. He or she eats cake. For third person singular, we should use either s or es. This is only applicable for third person singular, not for the first person or second person. Okay, just keep it in your mind. Okay, don't forget. Now we are going to see how to form negative sentences. Before we have seen how to form normal statements. Now we are going to see how to form negative sentences. Look here, and another rule is here for negative sentences. Subject plus do or does plus not plus verb plus object. Subject, as usual, we know either noun or pronoun. Next one, do or does. It is auxiliary verb. do or does. It means for first person and second person we should use do. For third person singular we should use does. And next one, for negative statement we should use not, and then verb, and last we use object. Okay, let us see some examples here. I do not eat cake. Here I is the subject. For already I said that for first person and second person we should use do and then negative word not. I do not eat. Eat is the verb. Cake is the object. I do not eat cake. Okay, let's move to the second example. She does not eat cake. She is the third person singular. Does, already I said that for third person singular we should use does for negative sentences. Okay, she does not eat cake. Subject does plus not, verb as eat, and then object as cake. Students, just you should keep one thing in your mind. For first person and second person we should use does. We should use do not. For third person singular we should use does not before verb. Let us see some examples of negative sentences. Look here, a table is given. It is divided into 5 columns. Okay, the first one is subject column, and the second one is do or does, and the third one not, and the fourth one is verb column, and the last one is object column. Look here, we have given subject as I, you, we, they, he or she, and next column is do or does, that auxiliary verb. Okay, for first person and second person we do. For third person singular, it means he or she, we used does. It is only applicable for third person singular. We should use the auxiliary verb does only for third person singular. And the next column, we used not for all the sentence because it is negative sentence. We are in this section we are using how to form negative sentences, so that's why we used not for all the sentences. And then verb, main verb, that is eat, and the last one is object, that is cake. I do not eat cake. You do not eat cake. We do not eat cake. They do not eat cake. He or she does not eat cake. Okay students, now we are going to see how to make interrogative sentences. It means how to make question sentences. Look here, here also a rule is there. Look at the rule, do or does. First of all, we should use auxiliary verb do or does, and then subject. After subject we should use the verb. At last we should use object. Already I said that for first person singular only we should use do for first person and second person. For third person singular, it means he or she, we should use does. Look at the examples given. The first one is do I eat cake. Do is the auxiliary verb used for first person and second person. Subject is I, it is first person. And next one is verb eat, and then cake. Do I eat cake? This is the way we should form. We have to form interrogative sentences. And then next example is does she eat cake? Does is used for third person singular, and she is the third person singular. Eat is the verb, and object is cake. Don't forget to put question mark at the end of the statement. Does she eat cake? So students, for first person and second person singular we should use the auxiliary verb do at the beginning of the sentence. For third person singular we should use does. End of the statement, don't forget to put a question mark. Okay students, let us see examples for interrogative sentences. Here also a tabular column is given. It is separated into 4 columns. The first column is do or does, the auxiliary verb as given, and the next column is subject column, and the next column is verb column, and the last one is object column. Already I said in the previous slides, for first person and second person we should use do or do. For third person singular we should use does. Look at the example. Do I eat cake? Do you eat cake? Do we eat cake? Do they eat cake? Does he eat cake or does she eat cake? Don't forget to put a question mark at the end of the sentences. Now we are going to see present continuous tense. What do you mean by present continuous tense? It tells us about an action that is going at the time of speaking. What do you mean by present continuous tense? It tells us about an action that is going continuously at that moment. And one more thing, it is used to describe it is used to describe an action that is going on during that period of time, or otherwise which in the future which has been already planned or prepared. Look here also one rule is there how to form present continuous tense. Subject plus that helping verbs like is, am, or, and then verb along with ing, and then object. Okay, subject plus is, am, or plus verb plus ing. This is the rule we should follow to form continuous sentence, present continuous sentence. Some examples are given. I am writing a story. I is the subject, am is the verb, that helping verb, writing main verb plus ing, a story. And the next one, she is writing a story. She is the subject, is the helping verb, writing main verb plus ing, a story. They are writing a story. Okay students, I hope you understood clearly. Okay students, let us see some examples. Look at the examples here. I am writing a story. I is the subject, am is the helping verb, writing, that already said that verb plus ing, a story. You are writing a story. He is writing a story or she is writing a story. They are writing a story or we are writing a story. Jim is writing a story. Jim and Pam are writing a story. Students already said that for first person, that is I, we should use am. For first person and second person like you, we, they, we should use are, helping verb as are. For third person singular, we should use his. For third person singular, we should use is. Okay, Jim is writing a story. Jim is a singular noun, so that's why we used is. Jim and Pam, they are two persons. Two person means definitely it is not a singular noun, so that's why we used are. Okay students, I hope you understood clearly. Now we are going to see some examples of present continuous tenses in negative and interrogative sentences. Look here, the first column is negative sentences and the next one is interrogative sentences. Look at the first example. I am not writing a story. The same rule is we have followed for here also, but we have done some changes. We included negative word, that is not, before main verb. I am not writing a story. You are not writing a story. He is not writing a story. She is not writing a story. They or we are not writing a story. Jim is not writing a story. Jim and Pam are not writing a story. Already I said that negative sentences means we should include the word not before the main verb. Okay, and already I said that wherever you are using I, if you are using the subject as I, that helping verb as am. For you, we, they, we should use are. For third person singular, we should use is. Okay, let us move to the next column, that is interrogative. We should write that helping verb at the beginning of the sentence. If the subject is I, we should use am. If the subject is he or she, we should use is in the beginning of the sentence. Okay, am I writing a story? Are you writing a story? Is he writing a story, or is she writing a story? Are they writing a story? Is Jim writing a story, or Jim and Pam writing a story? So this is the way we should form interrogative sentences. Okay, students, just now only we saw examples for negative and interrogative sentences. In interrogative sentences, don't forget to put a question mark at the end of the sentence. Okay students, let's do the first exercise, that is fill in the blanks with the simple present tense of the given verbs. Look here, some sentences are given and one helping box is also given. With the help of these words, we should write the simple present tense in the given dashes. Look at the first one, monkeys dash to eat bananas. So first of all, you should find the correct answer for the first one. Which is the correct answer? Monkeys dash to eat bananas. Yes, you're right. The answer is like. So already monkeys, it is a plural noun. Okay, we should use, we don't want to add s or es to the verb. We can directly write the verb in the answer. Monkeys like to eat bananas. The first answer is like. And the next one, I dash on a holiday with my parents every year. So which is the correct answer? Yes, the correct answer is go. Already I said that first person and second person we should not add s or es. We can write the verb directly. I go on a holiday with my parents every year. And the third one, Sheru, my dog, dash our house from thieves. Here, dog is a singular noun. We are talking about one dog, that is Sheru. For third person singular, it means for singular nouns we should add s. So what is the correct answer? Guard. Guard means taking care of. Okay. Sheru, my dog, guards our house from thieves. Because dog is the singular noun, so that's why we added s to the word guard. So, students remaining, you should try in your grammar book, write neatly. Let's move to the second exercise, that is write questions to which the following sentences may be suitable answers. Use the question words given in brackets. Students, look here, they have given sentences. We have to form questions for that, and inside the bracket they have given question words. With the help of these question words we have to frame a questions. Okay, let us see the first one. The film starts at 6 p.m. Okay, the question word is when. With the help of this word we have to frame the question. Okay, we should write when. The film starts. Actually, the film is a singular noun. Already I said that for singular nouns we should use does. So next, when does the film start? You should not write starts, because already we are using does in the beginning. I mean after the word what. So that's why remove the s from the verb starts. Okay. When does the film start? End of the statement, put a question mark. Let's move to the second word. I eat bread and jam for breakfast. Okay, the question word is what. So look here, the subject is I. For I, what we have to add? What is the auxiliary verb? That is do. What do? I will be changed as you. What do you eat for breakfast? Okay. End of the statement, put a question mark. And the last one is Paul sits in the back because he is tall. The question word is why. Okay, Paul is a singular noun. So singular noun, we should use the auxiliary verb does. And one more thing, in the verb, remove the letter S. Why does Paul sit in the back? End of the statement, put a question mark. Students, just you want to do with the given question word, and just find out whether it is first person or second person or third person. Already we know that for first person and second person we should use the auxiliary verb as do. For third person only we should use does. And one more thing, when you are forming an interrogative sentence, remove the s or es from the given verb, and end of the statement put a question mark. Remaining you should try. You must try in your grammar book, write neatly in pencil. Okay students, let's move to the third exercise, that is changing the following sentences into simple present tense. Look here, they have given present continuous tenses. Okay, they have given sentences as present continuous. Now we have to change the sentences into simple present tense. Look at the first one. He is walking carefully. Actually, is walking is the present continuous. Now we should change this into simple present tense. How can we change? Just remove the helping verb and ing from the verb, main verb. So he walks carefully. Why we added s? Because he is the third person singular. That's why we added s to the main verb walks. So he walks carefully. And the second one, she is standing in the corner. So is standing is the present continuous. Now what we have to do? We should remove is standing. Instead of that, we have to write she stands in the corner, because she is the third person singular. That's why we added s to the verb stand. He is swimming with his friends. So is swimming is the present continuous. So we should remove that and add swims. He swims with his friends, because he is the third person singular. So that's why we added the letter s to the main verb swim. He swims with his friends. Students, remaining you should try in your grammar book. Okay students, let's move to the fourth exercise, that is fill in the blanks with the simple present or present continuous form of the words. Students, some sentences are given with the help of verbs inside the bracket. We should write simple present or present continuous. Okay, look at the first one. Pravir dash to buy eggs from the market now. So the given verb is go. So we should use either simple present or present continuous. So which one is correct? Pravir is going to buy eggs from the market now. So present continuous. We should use present continuous because it is the action happening at the moment now. Okay, at the action is happening now. So that's why we used present continuous. Pravir is going to buy. It means it is going to happen in future, but we are already planned. So Pravir is going to buy eggs from the market now. And the next one is 8 dash so heavily that the street is filling up with water. Now this action is happening now. So that's why answer is it is raining so heavily that the street is filling up with water. Okay students, remaining you should try in your grammar book. Students, it is an interesting activity for you. Look here, complete a girl's description of a school library by filling the blanks with the correct form of the words. Actually a paragraph is given, and helping verbs also, not helping verbs, verbs also given inside the bracket. With the help of these verbs you should write the correct answer. Okay, just do it neatly and correctly. Okay students, now we are going to see another chapter, that is past tense. What do you mean by past tense? Yes, past tense means it's an action that has been completed in the past. What do you mean by past tense? Past tense, it is used to talk about a completed action. It is used to talk about a completed action in a time before now. Okay, let us see some examples. Krishna climbed the stairs. The tailor stitched the clothes. They played football yesterday. The words climbed, stitched, played or the past tense, okay, or the past form of the verbs. It means the actions are already over. And one more thing, in past tense we have to add ed to the verb. Look here, dance, danced, play, played, walk, walked. But this is not applicable for all the verbs. Some words are there, they do not follow this rule. For example, write, wrote, sing, sang, eat, ate. Like this, some words are there, they do not follow this rule, but most of the words they follow this rule only. Just we have to add ed to the verb. Students, let's see an activity. Answer the following questions and share your answers with a friend. Look here, they have given 4 questions. You should read the questions properly and write the right answers. All these 4 questions belongs to yesterday's only. Okay, yesterday what did you do? Look at the questions properly and write the answers briefly with a pencil. Let us see past continuous tense. What do you mean by past continuous tense? It tells about an action that continued in the past, not now. It continued in the past for some time. That is known as past continuous tense. Past continuous means that action happened continuously, not now. It has happened in the past. Okay, the formula, that means rule. The rule for past tense is, past continuous is subject plus be plus ing. Be means that was or were. Ing form of the verb to form the past continuous tense. Look here, one example is given. I was cooking when you called. Was cooking is the past continuous because we don't want to write am, is, or for the past tense. Already we know that what is the past tense of am and is? Yes, that is, what is the past tense? That is was. What is the past tense of are? Yes, were. Okay, I was cooking when you called. Okay, students, let us see how to form simple past tense in negative and questions also. Look here, a tabular column is given. It is divided into 3 columns. One is simple past, it means simple sentences, and the next one is negative sentences, and the third one is questions, it means interrogative. Look here, already or some rules are there we should follow. If we follow this rule, we can easily know how to form simple past tense and how to form negative sentences and interrogative sentences also. Look here, the first one is subject plus verb. It means take the first column, okay, that's simple past tense. Just subject plus verb plus object. First subject, next one is verb, and then object. Verb should be in past form, okay, we don't want to write in present form. All the verbs should be in past form. Already for all the first person, second person and third person, we should use the same verb, that is past tense verb. Okay, I sang a song, you sang a song, they sang a song, he sang a song, she sang a song, Madan sang a song, Madan and Chintu sang a song. The same verb is same for all the subject. Let's move to the second column, that is negative sentences. In present tense we used do, we used auxiliary verb as do, but here we have to use did, okay, did not. And one more thing, when we are using did, we should write the base form, base verb, okay. Look here, the rule for the second one is subject plus did not plus verb plus object, okay. Look here. I did not see the man. You did not see the man. We don't want to write a past verb, okay? Because we used did. If we are using did, we have to write the base form of the verb, okay? They did not see the man. Lata did not see the man. Mala and Lata did not see the man. And the last one is interrogative, that means questions. In present tense we used do or does at the beginning of the sentence, but in the past tense we should follow just one verb, that is did. Just look here. Example is the rule is did plus subject plus verb plus object. Did you play the piano? Did I play the piano? Did she play the piano? Did he play the piano? Did they play the piano? Did Pip play the piano? Did Sam and Pip play the piano? Just you should remember all these rules. Then only you can easily form a sentence into past tense. Okay, students, let's do the first exercise, that is fill in the blanks with the simple past tense of the given verbs. Look here, students, fill in the blanks are there. Inside the bracket they have given verb. We should write the past tense of the verb, okay? Rinky dashed down and started crying. The given verb is fall. What is the past tense of fall? Yes, fell. Fell is the past tense of fall. The answer is Rinky fell down and started crying. And the second one is the gardener dash care of the plants. The given verb is take. What is the past tense of take? Yes, you're right. That is took. The gardener took care of the plants. And the third one is I dash a book and lost it. The given verb is borrow. What is the past tense of borrow? Yes, borrowed. I borrowed a book and lost it. Students, remaining you should write in your grammar book. Okay, students, let's move to the second exercise, that is write questions to which these sentences may be the answers. Use the question words given in brackets. They have given some sentences and they have given some interrogative words as clues. With the help of these words, we have to frame a questions. Okay, take the first one. They went to the zoo yesterday. What is the past tense here? Went. Okay. With the help of given interrogative word, we have to frame a question. Okay, when did you go? We don't want to write the verb went here. When we are using date, we should write the present form. Okay, when did you go to the zoo? End of the statement, put a question mark. Let's move to the second one. She ate biryani for lunch. What is the past tense? Ate. Okay. What did she eat? Ate will be changed into present form, that is eat. What did she eat for lunch? Question mark. And the third one is Sunil went to Delhi by train. What is the past tense? Went. So past tense, what is the present tense for went? That is go. The given interrogative word is how. How did Sunil go to Delhi? Question mark. Okay, students. First of all, find out the past. First of all, find out the past tense of the verb, and then change the past tense into that present form. Then you can, with the help of given interrogative words, you can easily frame the questions. Remaining, you should try. Students, let's move to the next exercise, that is fill in the blanks with the past continuous tense of the given verbs. Look here, first one is he dashed the heavy load when an idea struck him. The given verb is carry. Actually he is the third person singular. So what is the answer for the first one? Yes, was carrying. We should add ing to the verb. He was carrying the heavy load when an idea struck him. For third person singular, we should use was. Second one, but he dashed computer games 2 minutes ago. Mother. The given verb is play. What is the third person singular? He. What we have to add? Was playing. We have to add ing to the main verb. But he was playing the computer games 2 minutes ago. Mother. And the third one is Joe dash ran towards me to give me a piece of news. Joe is the singular person. It means a singular noun. So what is the answer for the third one? Yes, was running. Joe was running towards me to give me a piece of news. Remaining you should try. Okay students, let's write the last exercise. Underline the verbs and write S if it is in the simple past tense and PC if it is in the present continuous tense. Look here students, they have given some sentences. You should, if the given sentence is in the simple past tense, you should write the letter S. If the given sentence is in the past continuous tense, you should write the letters PC. The first one is, the boys ran to greet their mother. So the given sentence, is it in the simple past tense or present continuous tense? Yes, it is in the simple past tense because ran is the simple past tense. So underline the verb ran and write the letter S. Let's move to the second one. The girls made garlands for the deity. What is the verb here? Made. What is the past tense? Made. So it is a simple past tense. So underline the verb made and write the letter S. Let's move to the third one. Mother was reading the newspaper when the phone rang. So what is the answer? What are the answers for the third one? Yes, two answers are there. One is was reading because verb with ing. So this is past continuous. So underline the verbs was reading and write the letter PC. In the same third one, simple past tense also there. That is rang. Rang is a simple past tense. So underline the verb rang and write the letter S. Write the letter S. Students, remaining you should try in your book. Students, an interesting activity is there for you. That is, complete the story using the past continuous tense of the given verbs. This is past continuous tense, students. Inside the bracket they have given verbs. With the help of these verbs you should write the answers in past continuous tense. It means you should use was or were along with verb plus ing. So write neatly and clearly. Students, now we came to an end. It means recap corner. Today we have seen two chapters, that is simple present tense and past tense. Simple present tense and present continuous, and simple past tense and past continuous. Simple present tense, already we know that it tells about the current situation, regular activities and general facts or truths. Present continuous, it tells that action is happening now at the moment. Okay, and we use helping verbs along with verb plus ing to form the present continuous. And then past tense means that an action is already over, an action has been completed in the past. And past continuous means it tells about the action that is already over. And in past continuous we should use be plus ing to form the past continuous tense. Students, today we have seen two chapters. I hope you understood clearly, and I hope you have written neatly and clearly in your grammar book also. We will meet on next class with another new topics. Thank you.